remember being like, at one point, I just had this light go off, and I was like, it's you or him, girlfriend. What are you gonna do? And at that point in time, I made the choice that it was his life or mine. And so I threw it in reverse. I cranked the wheel, and I was like, if he doesn't get out of the way, I'm running him over. And I pushed him out into oncoming traffic, and he continued to scream profanities at me in the middle of the road with other cars stopping, and I just gunned it. And I never looked back, and I was so scared that I never even called 911 because I had no concept that 911 even existed. After that moment, I realized that yes, I am scrappy, but yes, I am also tiny. And so personal defense is something that you have to take seriously. I ended up taking self-defense classes in Muay Thai kickboxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and over time started to take firearms more seriously. So I conceal carry now every chance I get. I think every woman should know how to defend herself, and I'm passionate about that. And I didn't really become involved in legislation and fighting for our Second Amendment rights probably until this last session when I saw, a plethora, a baker's dozen of bills come down the route that were trying to say that I did not have the right to defend myself. And I said, well, that is some BS. And so I'm just kind of a full feet in kind of gal. So I was just like, I'm going to the State House. I don't know anybody, but that doesn't matter. And everybody here that I have met has been incredibly welcoming, and I was shocked that I was even asked to be a part of this panel. And so yeah, that's how I got here today. That's my story.
Hi, my name is Kathy Colmy, and I'll try to keep this brief, but some of you know me, but I'll try.
We love you anyway, Kathy. It's okay.
I don't get out much, so that's part of why I was asked to be on the panel, is because I don't get out much. I'm disabled, and you guys are actually seeing me on a good day. I'm walking real good, I'm talking, everything. But there's days that my husband can attest to, bless his soul, he has to help me get out of bed, like literally, he has to help me get out of the bed and to do things. Stairs, I go up first, he pushes, makes sure that I can get up that step, and thankfully I didn't need my cane today, I left it at home. But I used to be really strong, and I used to be able to think that I was a badass. I worked construction, I could toss cinder blocks around and everything. And then I got sick, and I can't do any of these things anymore. So what I concentrate on is what I can do. I can use different forms. There's lethal with my firearms. There's pepper spray. And if anybody wants to volunteer, just head out. There's also a flashlight that will double as a taser. And the one thing about this one is that you wear it on your wrist when you're out walking the dog at night. When I go to visit my daughter and we're down in Saco, and my little dog's got to go out. So I have a flashlight so that I can see. But if you have to use the taser, and they try to take it away, they try to take it away from you, this pull pin, so now you're safe because I can't struggle with anybody to get this, away, but now they can't use it against me. So that's why I chose this one. I got it from Andy Reardon from the East Coast School of Safety, and I highly recommend her. If any of you, she's on Facebook. There's different things that you can use. There's different kinds of flashlights and stuff, but it's really simple. It's got just a flashlight on one, and then you go up, if that red light's on, and you push that button, you're gonna get charged.
She really wants somebody to demonstrate. Oh my God.
parking, I was parked at the top and getting down all those stairs. Well, I finally made it up to the Capitol. And thanks to Sherry, thank you very much. She brought me back up to the top because I had no idea how I was gonna walk all the way back up to the parking garage because by the time I got there, I'm always late, fashionably late. So I had to park up at the top, but I got there and she thankfully gave me a ride. But there's so much that I can't do, but what I am concentrating on is what I can do. My husband likes guns, no problem with it. I love guns. I love to shoot, I love to go out and do things. We went to the Kittery Trading Post. When I say we, he took me over to Yarmouth, where I met a wonderful man named Jordan Douglas, and we went the rest of the way. And after that, he brought me back to Yarmouth. My husband picked me up and brought me back to Casco. So he passed me off here and there, you know. As long as he doesn't have to go out and do a bunch of political stuff, he's happy to help. He's been a really big help for the No on 3 campaign. He got drafted so many times and would go and pick up signs and everything. But Annie Oakley had a quote that she would like to see every woman handle a firearm the way they handle a baby. And I would like to see that too. Most women, naturally, a baby, they know how to pick it up, whatever, it just becomes natural. And I would like to see firearms be the same for every woman. And so that's why I'm here today. And now we'll try to be quiet.
I have stats too. Okay. So last night, Denise had mentioned the Women Made Hunters Facebook group. There was a conversation on there that you were involved in. A woman had said, I'm buying turkey shot yesterday for a 20 gauge. I wanted 4 or 5 shot. The saleswoman hands me a 5 shot and says, this is probably what he wants. And it was even a woman, it was even a woman that, told a woman, this is probably, it for your husband. But then there's 20 comments of, ladies walk into a gun shop and they're asked, are you girls lost? Are you buying those game cameras to spy on your boyfriend? The silliest stuff.
Well, one of the comments that I
It
made
was
on
Austin,
there,
it was a setup.
one of the things that happened to me at one point, and it was, I'll say it was Dick's Sporting Goods years ago. I walked in and they had a silver condor side by side. First, it was on sale, and I've been kind of thinking about a side by side, so I went in and I told the gentleman behind the counter that I wanted to see this side by side, and he kind of looked at me with a funny look on his face, and I pointed to it in the flyer, and he looked at it and he goes, that means stainless steel. And I said, no it doesn't, it's side by side and you have no business selling firearms. I mean, it's scary, it really is, and that's one of the reasons why I would no longer, even Cabela's, I'm a little leery about Cabela's. Your smaller gun shops where the owners behind the counter are gonna give you so much better treatment and advice. And Kittery Trading Post, love Kittery Trading Post. I recently went in and bought a Taurus G2, and the guy was awesome, and he showed me a bunch of different ones, and he wasn't trying to steer me one way or another. It was really great, and it was really nice, and I did do a review for them and said thank you for treating me as a customer and not as a female customer, but just as a customer. And that's something that, there's all kinds of things that the one that the other one that I had mentioned was I went in to look at Remington 887, and the older gentleman behind the counter just kind of looked at me and he said, oh, that's not very aesthetically pleasing. I think you should look at something else. And my boyfriend just took 2 steps back and he went, this is gonna be fun. And I ended up leaving with that 887, but I was just pissed that the guy thought I should have something pink and little and cute, and I love that gun. I brought it today. It's an awesome gun for what I wanted it for. But yeah, but I will say, as a female guide, for most, like I said, most of my customers are 98% men, and I have had very, very treated me as a woman and that I don't know what I'm talking about or have tried to, talk down to me. And I think that comes from, I'm coming at that from a professional capacity, but I think all women have to understand that we take some responsibility in educating ourselves and speaking knowledgeably and asking the right questions. So if you just go in and you say, oh, I want to buy a gun, well, yeah, you're going to be treated like a dumb blonde. I mean, you're gonna be treated a little bit differently. Sorry. Nobody would. No, you're not. But I mean, it's all about how you approach the situation too. And if you say, I'm looking for a firearm and I need it for these purposes, then you're gonna get you're gonna get better treatment. And you're gonna have some more direction as if it's about how we approach it too, and how we come off and doing some homework and doing some research, because there are thousands and thousands of firearms out there, and not everyone is, there's no one right gun. There's totally different depending on what you want for your purposes, what you're looking to do, whether it's self-defense, self-protection, hunting, recreational, whatever. So do some homework before you go to try to purchase a firearm.
Before I go to any gun store that I have never been to before, I either go with someone that I know, or I ask people, have you been to this gun store and are they decent people? Because just as a general rule, because I've never had any actual experiences in particular gun stores that have led me to be suspicious, but like I used to work at the Dunkin' Donuts in Wyndham, and there were some guys who came in from different gun shops, and a few of the coworkers later were like, yeah, watch out for those guys because they're actually big jerks. And I was like, well, so that's something that I do in general, just to be on the wary side.
We're not always treated fairly in gun shops. But the more we're out there, the more,
And I am amazed at how many women do carry, but don't say anything about it. My friends, I'm like, really? There are so many that what's that?
That's the whole point of it, isn't it?
Well, I know, but I mean, they don't even talk about it. They're not like very pro-gun or anything.
Well,
But
I think that's what the MDA crowd thinks we do, is we're all dancing around the house
Right.
with babies and guns.
What's wrong with that?
We're not.